A ovo je library u džami. Pa najbolje odavde, iz džamije. Najsigurnije. Ja. Dobro, pa gdje stičeš, ne da se vidjeti. A boriš. Ja. Ajde, alhamdulillah. Mašal. Inače, sve dobro, zdravo? Alhamdulillah. Jo. Radiš? Znači, kod vas radi punom parom, jel? Aha. Aj, dobro bil. Pa Neila, gdje si ti? Ti je mala beba. Pa ti si porasla, ti si velika. Ja, ti nisi... Ja. Ti nisi više mala, right? Ja. Okay. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد اللهم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. We will use English because probably we have some of the guests. Engi? Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Welcome to our tonight, inshallah, as you know, Ramadan, the month of Ramadan is there, and all of us are affected by this coronavirus that we can hear everywhere in every corner. So tonight I'd just like to share with you a couple of things regarding the month of Ramadan, or the best days, the best of the nights that we usually witness by ourselves, and that we are trying to be present in the mosque, coming to the mosque, praying together, staying together, preparing iftars, different type of activities, and so on. So the Ramadan this year, 2020, Miladi, or Gregorian year, and Hijri 1441. So this Ramadan will be completely different than any other, according to what we see. But maybe it is better for us when we think a little bit deeply from the God's view of the points, because there is always hikmah, there is wisdom behind His rules and regulations. So yeah, according to our human understanding, this Ramadan will be completely different. It will be specific. It will be facing so many challenges to this month, and there is so many questions are going on these days about the Jummah, praying the Jummah in the mosques, and then right now Ramadan is coming, and then praying Taraweeh, the prayer in the mosque. So I will try to be clear and short enough to tell you about some of these rules. So I will not go in details about what is allowed, what is not allowed, because already you know all these things, what you can do and what you cannot do in the Ramadan. But from my viewpoint, we know that there is something called in Islam fard and something called nafila. which is obligatory, compulsory, and voluntary acts or actions. So basically, when we come to the Ramadan, Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam. As our beloved Prophet Muhammad والسلام, said, Bunya al-Islam ala khamsa, and then he mentioned the fasting of the month of Ramadan. Not only that, Quran Karim, الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كتب على الذين منكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودة, until the end of this ayat. So, all you who believed, the fasting has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed for those before you, before prophets, before Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. So there is a compulsory of the fasting. So what we will do in these days? I mean, we will fast, of course. We will fast as we used to fast. Because we have the 5 daily prayers, so we have to pray, even though sometimes even we cannot come to the mosque, but still we have to pray. So same thing here when we come to the fasting the month of Ramadan. Yes, we will fast at our homes, and same thing we will do our Taraweeh at homes too, because when we come to this compulsory or obligations and voluntary, we will see that Taraweeh, the prayer, specific only in the time of or in the month of Ramadan, it is voluntary prayers. So basically, according to the Sunnah, according what we learn from our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that we are supposed to do all these voluntary prayers at home, which is better than doing at the mosque, for example. So there is one of his narrations that he said, don't make your homes like graveyards, which means basically all the prayers that you pray them at home. Not all the prayers that we are praying at mosque, nothing at home. So leave some prayers like sunan, like after every prayers, or any kind of the nawafil, voluntary prayers, qiyamul layl, night prayer, taraweeh, or any other voluntary prayers. Pray them at home is better, much more rewardable in the mosque, for example. So according to that, in my very humble opinion, nothing is wrong praying Taraweeh, and maybe this time is better for us to come and to pray together as a family. Husband can be imam, so now you are taking the title imam in your house. Pray in front of your family. You don't have to recite half of the Quran or juz, or no, you can recite small surahs. Qul huwa Allah, falak, qul a'udhu birabbin nas, inna a'tayna idha, whatever you know. And you pray at least 8 rakats, and then establish this prayer at home every night after iftar. As usually you come to the mosques, you say the same thing you are doing at home. So these are good things that we can do in the month of the Ramadan. So the point of the Ramadan or fasting is very important for us. So God says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, in the first ayah, O you who believe, the fast has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may become mindful of Allah. So the fasting is a good lesson for us. And this time in what we call that isolation, and not trying to connect with the rest of the people, or not to be close to them, or so on, all these advices that we are following in these days. That's why we have this kind of the gathering tonight, and some kind of the meeting. So لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may increase your righteousness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we take all these furud, obligations in Islam, like let's say about prayer. So Quran is telling us وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ. That is the order, the imperative, that Allah is ordering us to pray, but not to pray, actually, because we are translating the word pray, but at least in Arabic means, أَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ means to establish the prayer. But how do we pray right now? Usually when you come to the mosque, it takes us, some time, like maybe 10, 15 minutes. we are praying a little bit slower than usual. But when we are at home, it goes like this. 2-3 minutes, we are done with the praying, because we are praying, but we are not really trying to establish the connection we got, because basically salah on Arabic means sila, which is the connection. You're trying to establish connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, when you are trying to connect as possible, you're trying to prepare yourself spiritually, physically, even surroundings area that you are praying in, everything must be prepared so you are able to connect with God. But in 3 minutes of the prayer, you know, it's hard to be connected. Somehow you are connected, but that is like connect, disconnect, connect this. So when we are praying, so in this, if we are not focused on what we are reciting, so then we lose the main point of our prayer. Either we are trying to understand what was in our job, or we are trying to think about the financial issue, the economics, the now coronavirus, am I sick, or my family, my kids. So basically we are praying, ending of our prayer, we don't know what we have prayed. The other things, when we go for the zakat, for example, zakat is a pillar of Islam. Give it to and that's it. People used to work very hard. They are trying to prepare themselves, and they are going by themselves to pay zakat, so you feel it. But right now, everything is basically, the life becomes like a virtual life. Everything is wireless. Even the money that we are paying, and the wireless, just slide the cards, or just, even the mosques right now, they have sliding the card to just put pin, and then you don't feel any kind of the doing something that is, we are not in that job that we are working in. So the other thing is, when we come to the Hajj, for example, even Hajj is obligation once in our lifetime, but still, how we do? Many of those who are going, to do their business or running here and there. I remember one story that, those two old men, they are planning to go to the Hajj, and one of them is asking, are we gonna buy something for our family as a gift? They say, of course. Why we're going over there if you're not buying? So they are preoccupied, unprepared, going to the Hajj, buying this and that, instead to visit the Holy Kaaba. Prepare yourself physically, financially, in your health, mentally, preparation, that you are going to do the fifth pillar of Islam, not to buy something. If there is a time to buy, so then that is fine. But otherwise, you have to think about the rituals of the Hajj. Now, the last thing that I want to talk is Ramadan. Ramadan is good chance for us, because there is so many things that we can do in Ramadan. The most important is to remember this ayah, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you become mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you think that Allah controls everything, that Allah is watching you all the time, and you think the actions that will make you closer to Him. And then when you come to this ayah that talks about Ramadan, it says, شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ فِيهِ الْقُرْآنِ. This is one that I like to focus on in these days. The most important thing is that we have to focus on the Quran and the messages of the Quran, ayat of the Quran, what they are talking to us, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to do or not to do, what He's talking us to avoid, or do this or do that. So we have to focus, all of us right now, we have to have planned that we will fast the whole month of Ramadan. According to schedule today is the April 24th, and it will be 30 days of fasting. So in these 30 days, when we try to understand the Quran, we have to have intention that we will fast the month of Ramadan, no matter what is in front of us, no matter what kind of the challenges. Even though in these days, through the social media, discussing right now, should we fast or not? I mean, there is no evidence, scientific evidence, that Corona affects fasting in this way or other way. Who is sick, anyhow, who is sick with Corona or without Corona, Allah said that they are not have to fast. They don't have to fast anyhow. So why then the rest of us should not fast? So all these thinking are coming to the people with reason or without reason. Some of them, they have good intentions, and the others are trying to confuse the people, say, oh, okay, we are facing this kind of the pandemic, and we should prepare ourselves and keep our mouth always, drinking something hot or cold, or, not to get virus and so on. So there is no scientific evidence for all these, what they said, according to my knowledge, and according to what the people are saying, who are professionals in this area. So شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. In the month of the Ramadan, the entire Quran was revealed to the Lawh al-Mahfuz, and then on the 23 years to the period was revealed from the Lawh al-Mahfuz to Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam through his life. So we have to have intention to fast in the month of the Ramadan. The second thing, we have to focus on reading and reciting Quran, either on Arabic, the original text, or translation on your own language that you may understand. So we have to read. The Quran has 30 juz, and it is very easy to separate them in every day to read 20 pages. 20 pages of reading on a daily basis is nothing, basically. It will help you a lot to understand, and you are getting the reward. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in one of the narrations, لا أقول ألف لام ميم is حرف ولكن ألف حرف وميم حرف ولام حرف. So I don't say that ألف لام ميم in the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah or some other surahs, that is one harf, but ألف is harf, lam is harf, and mim is harf. For all of these letters, there is 10 good deeds. So you just imagine, in 20 pages is not too much to read in the Ramadan, and you have to have intention that you will do it. Don't say, okay, I will try to do it, or I will, somehow. Don't put in yourself any doubt that you are unable to do it, because you can do it. You can do it because it's not too much. 20 page, if you read it before you go to the bed, or when you wake up, or in the middle of the day, whenever you have a chance to read it, but you are able to read 20 pages, because that is not too much. So we have to have some plan, and then we may understand from these readings of the Quran Kareem to open our mind, because in the Quran Kareem there is more than 800 times that Quran is trying to help us to think, reflect, and ponder over it. So there is like لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَفَكَّرُونَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَعْقِلُونَ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. So all these ends of the ayat is telling to that you may think, that you may reflect, that you may ponder over it. So reflection of the Quran Kareem and trying to applying on daily basis, it will help us to understand a lot of the Quran Kareem. So we don't have to be just reading superficially, but we are not following the rules and regulations. We need to focus. That is the main point of the Ramadan. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The very beginning is telling us that you may that you become mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran Kareem reciting. And then when we recite the Quran Kareem, follow rules and regulations. When we make dua, there is a continuation of this same page about the Ramadan fasting. It said, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. So when my servants is asking you, O Muhammad, about me, tell them I am near to them, I am close to them. I will fulfill all their promises and their wishes. So when we make this dua, after all these basically conditions that we fulfill on the very beginning, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our du'as, which is very, very important for us to follow. Following rules and regulations is very important. That is how Allah is teaching us step by step. So the main point of the Ramadan is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may become mindful of what ta'ala, teaching us about rules and regulations. The fast people, sick people, they don't fast anyhow. No big deal. So why then in this this situation, the coronavirus, or you say, oh, should we fast the month of? So what's wrong with us who are healthy? So we are healthy. It will not affect us if we are fasting. So if you're sick, still you have permission from God. You have permission from God not to fast. But if you are healthy, then of course you continue to fast. And nothing is wrong with that. And then when we are following all these regulations, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ, when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you raise your hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for your needs, personal needs, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَنْ, I will respond, I will answer to the caller, whoever calls me to fulfill his needs. So that is very important for us. There is one of narration of the Hadith al-Qudsi that says, عبدي أنت تريد وأنا أريد ولن يكون في ملكي إلا ما أريد. O my servant, you have wishes and I have my wishes. In my kingdom, nothing will happen without my permission. If you do what I'm asking you to do, I will make easy to get your things that you wish. But if you disobey me, you don't listen to me, you don't submit yourself to me, then I will make you tired of your running after your wishes. But in my kingdom, nothing will happen without my will. So basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us and teaching us, if we obey Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, then whatever we ask later on, of course, should be about good things, not something bad. So when we ask Allah subhanahu for something good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill it. So it is up to us this month of the Ramadan to make it even more special. This Ramadan, as I said in the very beginning, it is special. It's a special month of Ramadan, but we make it even more special because the wisdom of God is that I'm sure that many of us, or even our parents, did not witness such time that we are facing right now, because our Prophet ﷺ said, you know, there is a time even worse than you see right now. So basically, we are, alhamdulillah, we are good. All what we are facing, just understand it as God's mercy upon us. It is special. Never, according to my age, you know, I never seen something to close the mosques because we cannot attend Juma, we cannot attend daily prayers, Juma, you know, right now, Taraweeh, you know, iftar together, you know, it is very, you know, hard for us to think, oh, we don't have like around 350 people in the mosque on the almost, you know, 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it is hard for us, but we should think a little bit deeply than yeah, somebody is writing, yeah, to mute themselves. Okay, so all these are very, very important for us to understand as a wisdom of God. You know, I don't like when people in the very beginning, even today, when I try to these days to work announce here, people are talking, oh, this is the punishment of God. This is, you know, we should not fast the month of the Ramadan, and you know, Juma, we should pray Juma at our homes, everybody by himself or herself as a family. There is so many things, messy things is happening around us. Why should we do that? You know, Juma, we know Juma should be in the mosque. There is no way to pray it at home. There is no need for that. Even if you have 3-4 people, so the people starting right now, okay, I can listen Juma live, you know, from my mosque, or from I can listen from even from the Mecca, for example. I can listen from different areas. Whatever your khutbah, whatever imam you want to listen, you finish, and then after that you can pray Juma after him on far away. You are at home and he is, for example, in Mecca, or so those things, dear brother, dear followers of Prophet ﷺ, everybody must stop thinking this way, because this is not what Islam is asking us to do. All of us, we have to follow the rules and regulations. We have to be very wise, because there is some speculations. There is so many things that is spreading around us that People are trying to confuse majority of the people, and we don't want to be confused. We have to follow what is the best for us. We have to follow the rules and regulations of our religion, which is Din Islam. So please don't separate yourselves. Just be connected as much as you can to your local mosque, Islamic Center. In this case, Islamic Center Bowling Green. We will try to update you as much as we can according to the teaching of Islam. We don't want to deviate. We tell you, oh, you can pray Juma in your home. You pray Tarawih. Tarawih is okay to pray with your families, as we mentioned in the very beginning when we start our talk. So it is okay because it's voluntary prayers. But the furud, the compulsory orders from God, or the religious furud obligations, we are not supposed to do if it's not there is no the valid evidence from our faith, from Islam. According to the Juma, we can't. But there is so you can find online our scholars who discuss already that subject, and they are discussing this Taraweeh and Ramadan, what is the best for us to do. So I think the best for us is to follow the local mosque in order not to be confused with listen too many options over there that you can find on social media. So please remember, we are opening mosque Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 1. Everyone who wants to forget to pay his membership, or any donations, or any advice that you want to ask questions, I will be there, inshallah, Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 1. It was open today. It will be open tomorrow. So anyone is able to come, or at least to come just to pray a couple rakats because you are missing your mosque, you are more than welcome to come. So please be connected. There is a schedule for Ramadan, as I mentioned. 24th of April is beginning of, which is Friday. The Thursday night before will be first Taraweeh. If we don't pray here, I don't know, the mosque will be closed. But probably, according to the news that we have, it will be closed still. But still, you can pray because that is voluntary prayers. You can pray it at home, and I'm encouraging you to organize and to pray as a family, but not Juma, only the Taraweeh, because Juma needs specific rules and regulations that we are, as families members, are not fulfilling them. So these are a couple of advices, and I would just allow you, if anyone has a question about this Ramadan or anything else, so just unmute your mic and go ahead. Anyone has a question?
I have a question, if it's okay.
Yes, yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
I have been asking a lot of questions about Ramadan, and I'm diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Should I consult with my doctor? But I really am interested in fasting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there specific or just general question about diabetes?
Well, I'm going to ask my doctor about how many hours during the day is it? Is it from daylight to night? What are the hours of the fast is what I need to know.
I don't have a schedule in front of me, but I believe it's something from before 5 o'clock, like 4, maybe 20:15 till 7:30. I'm something like that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I don't have a schedule right now in front of me,
Okay.
but that is something like that. So around maybe, let's say 15 hours.
15. Okay,
Yeah.
15 hours.
So.
Say you have a schedule that people can pick up?
Yes, we have already on our website, Facebook. You can download or print it, or if you want to come visit mosque, pray a little bit and pick up your schedule. That's available too. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll be there tomorrow to pick one up and to pray. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else, please go ahead.
Under such circumstance, this coronavirus continues and you cannot pray at mosque. Are you planning to have any such speech like we have today?
Yeah, I mean that is. To be honest with you, this is first time I'm doing this. Uh, this online talk, and yeah, I mean we were trying to be even more connected, probably this is maybe a good chance for us to use this opportunity even to reach homes, whoever wants to listen, to some of the advices. So yeah, this is good, I think, opportunity. So just need a little bit learning about how to use it even in a better way. So we may have daily reminders before iftar, or like weeks, a little bit longer. So that will be inshallah available, I hope. Anyone else? Yeah, just go ahead, you don't have to worry. Okay, so that is very short. So for the first time, I'm happy with all these people that are here. So if you have any questions, you can, I think, contact us, on our Facebook or email, or call us. So šta vam god paše, vidim sada na whatever is more convenient to you, so you can just go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, riječ. Škola, točno sedmicu, jel ćeš to nastaviti ili ćeš da se možeš proponirati da biti nekad?
Yeah, for the kids, yeah, inshallah, we will try to have it. I think on a Monday, because I'm still, as I mentioned, working these virtual classes. I'm not really, never did it before, so I'm just trying to, to learn things and be connected. But yeah, we are using Zoom and one-on-one reminder whenever we have meetings and classes. So I send them reminders so they can be, attending the classes. So, but usually classes is during the days, not the weeks. So because I have asked last time, the kids said they are saying, if you have it on the weekend, then we don't have a day off, because we have to work all this homework through these weeks, and then at least we have two days off from the school. So it's I don't know, it's hard to arrange for everybody. I know somebody like it on the weekends, but the others are saying, no, I want to have some kind of day off or something like that. So I mean, we can mix it sometimes, the weekends, other days, working days. So yeah, okay, inshallah. Okay. Some more questions? If any has a question, go ahead. Buyurun. Okay, so as you know, right now Maghrib time is there. So if you don't have any questions, and inshallah see you soon. And I don't know if weekend is better for you, or the working days. What is better for you, for the adult?
Weekends are best for a lot of us that work.
Weekends?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Okay, inshallah, weekends will do it. So, and I think during the month of the Ramadan, whoever is able to, to follow working days, at least we'll try to before iftar or after asr, maybe. We'll not try to have a long, like hours and hours of speak, but at least something that you will be always update and connected to the Islamic. So at least try to have these feelings that you are here. So I'm right now in the mosques. So I feel this is the mosque, the library. So it is much better than sitting at home. So even the background you don't see it's mosque. Okay, so we'll do for adult inshallah on the weekends, and for the kids we'll try some days mixing with the weekend and the working days. Any other questions?
Speak on English so they can.
Što se tiče jezika, znači nastaviti.
What?
Što se tiče jezika, hoćeš nastaviti na bosanski, hoćeš više na engleski, kako ti to radi?
Yeah, that depends of the audience. If you have anyone that does not understand the Bosnian, then we have to go with the English. You know, even if it's one person there that doesn't understand, we will go with English. You know, I'm trying my best, but you know, I know it's hard. It is challenge. You know, we have one group maybe speaks or you know. Partially speaking, partial understanding, and other group doesn't understand even one word if you speak any other language. You know, right now we have only one person, for example, doesn't understand Bosnian. But what if I use right now the Arabic? So all of you will be out. So basically, you know, I have picture, but you may get no benefit from that. So at least, you know, you are young people, so everybody here that I see, you know, all of them are young and they do understand English good. Maybe, you know, for us as, you know, non-born English, it is somehow a challenge to speak to your people on the different language. And we are maybe using, usually, you know, what is the most challenging people who are non-born English people is terminology, because the religious terminology, even when we see it in the Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, it is a little bit hard, you know, the regular language. But when we are going to when I'm saying like a sunnah, like a wajib, like a nawafil, like if we don't use the English beside this language, I think you will partially understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm just trying to focus on the English words beside the Arabic that we usually use on the, you know, our regular basis, because that is easy to get the message. But trying to use this terminology, are able to understand Jannah, Jahannam, or some other, you know, religious terminology. It is kind of hard for the people to understand if they don't have a, you know, it's the same thing like if somebody talks right now for me about the airplanes, you know, or some kind of the engines, you have this and that, I don't understand these things. So you need to learn this terminology in order to understand. So that's, you know, but I'm trying my best to be, you know, what do we call it, you know, broken English. I like that word. So everybody understands the language. It's broken, but it's understandable, which is very good for us. That is our main message, to be understandable, you know, even if we pronounce it sometimes a little bit different than our neighbors, for example, because, you know, our maybe tongue is not really practiced very well, but at least we are trying our best. I hope that I, you know, explained a little bit. Anyone has a question?
I do, Effendi. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Go ahead.
Those future meetings, are they going to be based on the class, or is it going to be like, how to say, like tumačenje Qur'ana ili how's good, or is it just updates, or how's that?
You mean these meetings?
Yeah, the future, like during Ramadan. Or
yeah. I mean, I will like set up the what do you call it, the title or subject. You know, and then you will know what's going. So yeah, we can sometimes we talk about the ayat, interpretation of the ayat, or understanding some things from the, you know, from the sayings of the Prophet, or general wisdom. That, so yeah, that will be like title or subject. Like I call it today meeting because you know, Ramadan is there and we don't have a chance to come to the mosque. Usually we have like tonight in the Isha. Usually we have a talk. And we talk about Ramadan and this and that. So that's what I used right now this opportunity to talk about Ramadan a little bit. So
Yeah, I have a lot of time actually. We have a lot of most of us now have a lot of time on our hands. I've been reading Quran more, and that would be a really good, just more interpretation of Quran and
yeah,
what it all means and
yeah,
behind it.
that's good. And then inshallah we can have even the separate class for the Quran, for the tajweed, how to read the Quran correctly, how to pronounce it correctly. So these are good classes for adults. So even if you don't have time to come to the mosque, when we set up usually when we set up the date for the adults for the learning the Arabic alphabet or the reading Quran, so usually most of you are busy and very few are coming. So maybe we can use this opportunity to you as an adult, whoever wants to learn uh, more, how to say, profoundly, proficiously, to read the Quran more correctly than usual. So these classes may help us a lot.
What makes that hard to make a correction? I'm not into Arabic. I'm reading a translation in Bosnian, the Quran, so that makes it even more harder because most of the words are not translated so I'm not that advanced in Arabic.
Yeah, but at least if you are willing to learn the Arabic alphabet, like you were, I remember when you learned Arabic, the Arabic as a language, not Arabic just alphabet, you were coming a couple of times and then you stopped because you say, oh, this is strange how to learn. But when you get in like 28 letters, that is not like I'm promising to all adult men and women, you can learn it in 10 days. So it's not an issue. So just you need to be focusing and trying to learn as much as possible. And then for example, when you learn English, you did not learn English in 24 hours. It took you some time. Yeah. So you go here and there, you read the books, listen to TV, and try to imitate. Like, for example, when I have here students from the Western, when they speak, I just trying to pick up their words, how they say it, and try to copy, to pronounce as they pronounce. Probably that is most correct, the language that you can learn. Or the Google, is telling you how to read it. So same thing in Arabic. So that's why I'm here. I tell you, okay, you say this way. No, say it this way. So and then your tongue will be able to pronounce, because Allah said, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن. So we make Quran easy to everybody. Don't think most of those who memorize. We have non-Arabs, millions and millions who memorize Quran from cover to cover, and there is only 18% of the Muslims are Arabs. The rest are 82. The rest of them are non-Arabs. So that is God's wisdom. So any Arab that say, oh, we are better than others, no, they're not better, because God make us all equal. So we need the non-Arabs to spend a little bit more time to learn it, but it's not hard to learn it. Unlike any language, it takes us some time.
That you had earlier that I came a couple times to, that was more advanced class. So when we start this new class, can that be like for beginners, like something basic, easy to start?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that much. Maybe look like to you is as advanced, but it was beginning. Those people used to be just they learn the Arabic like alif ba ta tha, and then they are just trying to read some words, because reading the Quran is different than reading the book, for example, that you see behind me. So that is different, because that is language. You need to know, but it's same thing like learning English. So, for example, enough. When you say enough, you don't spell it enough, but you spell it differently. The writing is different than what you say. So same thing in Arabic, the reading of the Quran is different than the Arabic language. But for the beginners, that will help you, so you can see, we can share the screen, you can read it in front of you. And I have with the mouse, for example, what I'm doing with the kids, I just make it in the blue box, so exactly they see what we are reading, so they will not miss it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Anyone?
Yes, I have another question, if it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
I am very interested in learning language. I currently speak two languages, English and Spanish. So when you have the classes for the Quran, is it in Arabic? Will I need to get an Arabic Quran to follow?
That's a good question. So how do we do the learning? When I said the Quran and the alphabet, these are two different things, you know. Usually different. The alphabet is for the beginners, for those who don't know or they don't have any idea uh, about Arabic. So the Arabic is different language completely, and then language as a language is different than reading Quran. You know, so in order to understand Quran, you need to learn, you need to know Arabic. So basically, what you're trying to say to Sister Sabina here is for the beginner. She asked class for the beginners, which means we start from A to Z, basically, from Alif to yeah. How do we write it? How it connects? Because there is important. There is how to connect. There is some short vowels, long sounds. So all these is for the beginners. So when they finish, there is one book is called Sufara, which is it talks like maybe I don't know, maybe 60, 70 pages. It gives you for every letter lesson. So once you pass this lesson, the letter, you take the lesson and then take next one, the next one. But for adult, as I said, they need only 10 days because usually on daily basis you can learn three or more letter at once. So because it's not hard because there is really very small differences between the letters. Usually they are very close to, so just pay attention where is the dots up or down, or one dot under, two dots on the top, three dots on the top. So these things are needs a little bit more attention.
Okay, thank you. I'm interested in joining the class.
You're more than welcome. All of the announcements will be on our website, so whenever you have time, you're more than welcome.
Okay, thank you.
No. Any other questions? That's it? Okay, then inshallah, until next time, I will see you. Have a good one, and I wish you month of Ramadan. Inshallah, we will have Thursday. That is the day that we will have first Taraweeh. If not here in the mosque at your homes, but we will be inshallah live and try to give you some advices. So until then, see you inshallah, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam.